this place is like when you realize you're dancing alone, you're dancing with the universe. It doesn't really matter. The fuckery around you it bothers us because we're either like we think we're past it, we want it better in other people, but like I see this as a group of individuals, so it's fun. Like the airship is it's like the playtime where the people can come together as a group. But this is kind of just like, yeah, people put out whatever's happening, not like the inability for people to like participate.
And I think there's also a requirement there. Yeah, you have to own that too. So it's like, for example, with Deb, it's like, you know, wouldn't feel like she come in, but one of the things she said to me was the fact that she felt like spilling her guts and having everyone have to listen to her be vulnerable was the highest service of God. And I was saying, I don't agree. You know, I'm saying to me, that's you coming to the room saying, I need all this attention because I have all this I need to share with y'all on behalf of God. And I'm like, I, I don't agree that that's a healthy mindset. And I think that's something that she needs to work through to understand if she's to contribute to a space. You can't come in having it be about you prostrating yourself before the space and can be continually rewarded for doing that. Because that's not what we're talking about as far as posture, right? As far
Agreed.
as like,
Yeah. Um, I kind of, yeah, I agree with you, Brad.
she went, she really did. She went just pissing all over the place, and she gave you a lot of. And another thing for you to be able to show up on a radio that night after dealing with that all week and still come in with the enthusiasm, it's like, you know, kudos for you. It's like, because that is weight. You know what I'm saying? When even when you know it's like not justified, you know what I'm saying? When people are still trying to, yeah,
It's, I'm glad that I hope this gets replayed because I want to listen to what Clinton said again about dancing alone and dancing with the universe. And we forget that, you know? And so we come in here with a little less, well, with a little more expectation, you know? And then, and then when that kind of thing happens here, it really is the best place for it to happen, but it catches you a little bit off guard when every single thing that you ever shared gets put back, like in every different media. I was like, yeah, I was like, oh boy, but that was like a gift because I think I was the game programmer that wrote myself that script. So it's like, I can't, like, that's the universe writing the script. I'm like, how could it get any better than that? And it's like I wanted to share about this because I went to that march to think I could pollinate, and I forgot I was dancing alone in the universe. And I got really kind of connected in with this compassion with these people that I've known them for like 20, 30, a long time. And their looks on their faces when they see me because they don't know what to do, I burn them. And it hurt me so bad to have so many people look at me like that. Like, two people that I went to Peru with were speaking and they're like, yeah, they're like so excited that I'm there, but I'm not there to fight. I'm there to hold both sides of the wing of the bird. And it was like, to be there, I was like, they used to be my people. I have such grief of all of these people that I am not any more connected with. And I have to unplug that, like just totally like, but I cried all day Sunday from the grief of this level of exile. And it's a self-chosen exile. So I was hoping Cameron was here because I wanted to ask him a question about the dojo, about, he said something about not going to the games. He was at the game in 2020 when then they closed the game. And he said, I don't want to give any of my energy. I didn't want to give my energy to be manifesting that. Did anyone hear that? And I was like, am I manifesting this kind of fucking non-belonging fucking freak show? Hey, Renee, good to see you in the same room, you guys. Love it. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was bringing in. I was like, I don't know if I want to give any attention to the red bird, blue bird, because it just feels like I am just I don't know if I'm not strong enough to do it, to pollinate. I don't know. I just,
I constantly feel like I have to go back important to myself, and it's hard, kind of hard for me to because I do think we kind of isolate ourselves. Like for example, just in the simple sense of trying to be with people and love them in this sort of way, and like the when you start to choose yourself is just kind of what I'm saying. And like people don't like that because maybe it's not what you've been before, where they don't, or just because your perspective has changed or any of that. Yeah, it's like the only way I continuously turn back into just me. It's like I have to have a certain level of disconnect. I feel like engagement and like you talking about being sad. Like for me, it's my relationship, for example, with my folks is sad right now because we can't connect in that way because it's that the unplugging you're talking about. It's like I almost feel like I have to completely unplug because the people in this case people you've cared about, right, who you used to
yeah.
connect with, but it's like they almost refuse to see you or to just recognize. And then like you say, I don't think we're trying to be counter to them. Like you said, you're just trying to hold both sides, right? Just trying to be centered in yourself, but they're looking at you like you're a traitor because you're not maybe who you used to be or something. I don't know. It's just, but
I think
yeah,
we
that's
need
that's
to
tough to think
remember,
about.
like with politics, with the red and blue stuff and the right or the left. I used to live on a cul-de-sac, and it doesn't matter what way you turn at the end of a dead end street. Like if you go right or left, you still have to come right back the way you came from, start over. And so I think when you get to that place, Lori, where you don't you see the you see how people, like when James plays those videos of those Zionists, like so like blind to the fact that these people are human beings. That's upsetting. Uh, but like they're at that place. I don't know where I'm trying to get with this, but that's just like the politics. Like, and you go to this place and you're like, these people are so angry at the other side. The other side is just them. It's just
Yeah.
us.
Hey,
No, you're
and
like,
I'm
hey,
agreeing with Lorian.
if we quit playing tug of war, there's no more effort. You just let the rope down and talk to each other. But
But
they're
they don't
blaming
want to talk
still.
to you, and
Right?
that's
They
what I'm
don't
saying.
want
It's
to
like,
talk.
Well, I was
and I,
pollinating and I said things like, there was a Canadian woman and she was like talking and I'm like, it's like really interesting that this supposedly, it was kind of fun, but it had a lot of hate. It had a lot of fight. It had a lot of like, I mean, if it was really a king, they could have taken that protest and not allowed it to happen because in Canada they lost the ability to free speech. I think England too. So we're really close to something that they don't even know they're co-creating, and it's like, how do you pollinate that? I'm like,
that's tough.
I would say something like I stand for all the colors on the indigenous. I'm like a native of Pachamama. I'm like, I don't have a side here. I don't believe in the habeas corpus, and I don't believe in what's going on with the genocide in Israel. I just don't know how you could take a side and think that. And now on my social media, I don't know about you guys, but I did never block anybody, so I've got the right side saying weird ass stuff and the left side saying weird ass stuff, and I am not as calm and neutral as I was when Charlie Kirk. I was like, what's going on? But now I've kind of lost it, and I'm like, I need to find my ground to not. I don't want to manifest any of this. I'm tired of it, but I'm really sad that I used to feed these people. They used to come to our fiddle shop, and I would feed them, and it was all musicians and artists and all the creatives, and it's like they're looking at me like, I don't know. It was really ugly. In some ways, if I didn't say anything and I just walked around, I think that would have been better. But I couldn't say hate. I couldn't say fight. I had to say love. I had to I had to do I thought what I was there to do, but then I just lost it. I just lost my energy. So anyhow,
Like that is, I think, why I just reserve mine. I don't I don't generally go out there with it anymore. It's like if it comes at me, I'll certainly, speak up or whatever. But yeah, I I spent a long time in a lot of years, I think, in trying to sort of, and I think my energy was pretty aggressive too when I was doing it, but trying to pollinate in the way where I was like, and and really even inserting myself in spaces where it's just like I knew I didn't agree. You know what I'm saying? And I, yeah, it just like I said, just stopped kind of doing it in that way because I think I felt the same thing you felt with it. You know what I'm saying? It's like even am I even helping? You know what I'm saying? Because it's draining me too. You know what I'm saying?
And then
And
I was
I'm
thinking,
with you.
I was thinking,
I was
are
with you.
these, James was like, I got so inspired on Friday because I was like, yeah, they were my people. And now are they my people? I don't know. Maybe they're just like little buds of flowers and they haven't
The
cracked their
more
bloom
you know
yet.
what, the more you become your people, though, Lori, right? The more I think it just becomes so stark when other people who aren't their own people yet. Do you know what I'm saying? People who are still looking for a group who still aren't fully really choosing themselves are naturally gonna sort of separate or distinguish from people who
Yeah.
are just steadfastly choosing themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. They are
Because
your
that's
they
a
are
big
your
move.
people, and you just have to remind yourself what it took to get here. And then we have to hold the faith that they can make it across, just like you did. And
Yeah, but
and
it's
if you
which
can
way you plug
extrapolate
into it,
what it
right?
was like then you would see that there was someone like you on the other side that probably didn't have faith in you either. So you having faith is not important. It's not like I'm saying you have to have faith for them; they won't make it. I mean, if they're not going to make it, they're not going to make it. So if this isn't going to work. I don't know what is. I think the if you're losing energy, it's because you're trying to change the world, and you're just supposed to pollinate it. You're just supposed to, and it's more for yourself. It's really more for you. You don't do it for them. That's you're getting into a selfless powertrain, which um, you guys are above that. You're not going to be able to find a profit out of the selfless powertrain when you put yourself into. I must sacrifice more than everyone else, and then you'll go back to your group and you'll say, "I donated more canned food," or I, I said Black Lives Matter more than you did, and you guys don't get fed from that anymore. And because you don't get fed from that anymore, when something like this happens, you need to remember why you're actually doing it. Why am I so activated over this? I think the word is manic. I've been using the word manic, but I don't mean that in a deconstructive way. I think it's like an energetic orbit potential, and I like using free energy. I'm a free energy device. And so when other people uh, are acting crazy around the world, um, this time I've been like, why don't we use this energy? Let's put up a windmill. And I'm powering it me. I'm not powering anyone else. I'm not doing it to let's give free grain to the people. No, fuck the people. They're fucking hyena pieces of shit. I mean, I'm just that's a little harsh, but it's like when you go on Twitter, you're like, you're not saving these people. No one's that's not what this is. That's not what we're doing here. It's really not. And it actually helps. Maybe this used to drain me. Maybe it used to drain me when I would go and I would see it probably did during COVID-19, and I would see that people were just so far away and the chasm was too far. And I would think that I'm losing energy because people are so far away. I would think that I'm losing energy because the chasm is too far. And that's actually not why I'm losing energy. I'm losing energy because I feel that I can only be here if I'm bridging the chasm, if I'm connecting something that's too far. And this is me abandoning myself. I'm abandoning myself by insisting that I'm only useful if I fix something. And this is controlled opposition. I'm being told I'm only constructive if I can fix something, if I can change something, if I can make an impact. And really all those things are really more about you.
Yeah, that's right. I was doing it unconsciously, but doing it. Yeah, I agree with that.
It's kind of fun when you realize that here's one side that was forcing everyone to wear masks and now they're on the other side passing laws saying you can't have masks in public. It's kind of fun. The hypocrisy is kind of helpful. And if you think about
Well,
what hypocrisy is, it really is just a an undulation. This is what hypocrisy looks like. Because you're saying this and fuck all the people over there, then you're over here, and those fuckers don't know what they're doing. Then you go over here, and that's hypocrisy. And this is how you would build the snake, you know. You would build
Yeah,
the
and the two
serpent.
sides. That's what the far left and far right are seeing who can
Yeah.
hypocrisy more. Yeah.
One thing I learned in 2019 that I've learned a lot is there's actually a lot more safety when you start to measure the herd and what they're capable of doing. What I mean by that is that there's so many more people that are closer to having something like this hurt them than you. It's hard to believe, but it's just true. Whether you're going to fall for enlisting or stick a needle in your arm or whatever the fuck else it is, ultimately, you're the most expensive gazelle to catch. It requires so much more to capture people like us just because we're just because we're here talking. We've been talking like this for a long time. So it's like there's a safety in that. And it might look kind of nihilistic. But one thing that I learned when I was walking through the tweets that did it is Republicans are showing a white girl got murdered on the subway. You guys might have seen this, but she got murdered by some black guy. And there's a video of it right before it happened, so it's really gruesome. And when the Nazi Charlie, when the Republican Nazi stuff came out, and all these Republicans were saying the word Nazi and laughing with each other, when you go on Twitter, all the MAGA people are saying, "I don't give a shit about your chat logs," meaning none of this matters about the fact that we are saying Nazi things is meaningless because this white girl got murdered on the subway. And when I read that, I cringe because of how disgusting it is that a hyena is using a dead body of a victim to flaunt this idea that we must be right and we're right because this luckily seriously like that's their attitudes. Luckily this white chick was murdered by this black dude and there's this great screenshot of it, so therefore we're right. And when you see that, I want to take a flamethrower and just burn those kids, like all the children in that patch. You know, I'm just like, you guys should not be reproducing. Like you are so fucked. It's beyond. There's nothing gonna. And you're making the whole thing a sport. This is all a sport to you, and you're pretending that you love her, which is even more irreverent. It's even more fucked up. That those people are still in mourning, and you're throwing her picture around Twitter, and you've got like 3 million views on it. That's what's happening. And that disgusts me. And I could lose so much energy on that until I start to think about the nihilism, why the nihilism is so important. Why all the annihilation is so important. Why all the traps. There's so many traps. So many holes that you can get stuck in. But all of them seem to be self-incriminating. The Pied Piper is so good at it wants that self-incrimination before it takes your soul. It's like, look, I'm going to take your soul, but I want to make sure it's fucking bad. I need it to taste good. You know, I need you to make a really bad decision. And if you do, then I'm going to be able to swallow you. It's going to feel good. And ultimately, that person is making a sacrifice for you. Ultimately, that fucktard who's posting that dead girl's picture on Twitter is doing that for me. The amount of disgust that I see from that is purely the only thing that keeps me growing, isn't it? Like it really is the only thing. I'm just saying. I find that so detestable. I don't want to be anything like that, so I can't be a conservative or a liberal. And since I can't be either one of those, then it's very difficult to even participate. All weekend I've been having fun on Twitter for the first time in years because I've told myself, James, none of these people give a shit about anyone. Lives do not matter. This is a fucking game to people. And if a riot breaks out and people get shot, these people are going to cheer. And 5 minutes later, they're going to tweet about how awful it is. how disgusting it is, how gross the other side is, and how if the Republicans would have done this or if the Democrats would have done that. And those people are 1,000 trillion million times more dangerous than Nazis. Those fucking people, those are the ones. And those are the ones that make me grow more than Nazis do, right? Nazis would make me grow if I was 7, you know. And I maybe I don't know, maybe 7 isn't even a fascist, but just I would need a very low intellect to have to be disgusted by Nazis. It's just so low key, like simple for me, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's this other stuff that if you're going to lose calories, it's going to be that. Until this weekend, I stopped losing calories because I started to treat it like a football game, Lori. I started to realize I actually do want to go into this stadium. And for the first time ever, I'm not going to try and tell people what a stupid game this is. Because every time in the past, I've thought that's how I'm going to fix the world. We're going to buy tickets into that stadium. We're going to go in there. We're going to set up a booth that says football is dumb. And we're going to convince everyone there. This is the Super Bowl, so these tickets are $500 a piece, right? And we're going to convince them. We're going to convince them that football's dumb. Like that's that's how naive I feel that I've been. And I feel something different this time, Lori. I feel something very more positive, not because of the movement, not because of what's in the air, but just because I hate to keep doing this, but I really do think that the more that I call myself autistic or Aspergery or whatever you want to say, it's actually really been therapeutic because it's allowed me to decouple from how intense I am. I just always forget how intense I am, how everything has to be crucial and important and vital, and this has to be the absolute truth beyond the truth. And it's still not good enough. Now you have to go in behind that and find the other secret door and the treasure buried under. I've literally given streams about this that most people think it's a treasure and it's a false treasure. The real treasure is underneath. And you have to find the false treasure before you can even start looking for the real. Like that's just all me, and that's just all autistic. Like that's just all just everything's fucking intense. I want to try something different now. I want to try a different gear, you know. I want to try a different approach to that. And the only way I've been able to do that is to realize that none of these people really give a shit about lives. And James, the people that are signing up to be soldiers, why do you want to stop them? Why do you really want to try and save them or get them? Like, why? This is what they get to do. This is why this realm is here. If you want to come here and practice being a Nazi and you want to come here and practice being a rapist or a murderer or whatever the fuck else. None of us have really said we don't want that. All of us have said you can do that and we're going to buy some big guns and we're going to buy this. And it's never been a we have to take something William Gacy. I'm just trying to think of a serial killer. We have to find his genetic genes. They need to be placed into a log. And if anyone ever comes into a hospital that has this same maternal genetic signature, we will euthanize that person on the spot. I just want you to hear this for a sec. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not suggesting this, but I'm telling you, we live in a world that has capital punishment, do we not? We live in a world that has capital punishment and abortion. So we live in a world where we want the state to be able to take us out. You could argue about nuance about, well, sometimes you can only take us out if you're a baby, and sometimes you can only take us out if you're a killer. It doesn't matter to me. We're surrounded by people that are like, yeah, majority rule wants to kill me. I'm down with that. Sounds good, man. Sounds good. I get an appeal, right? Okay, then I'm good. As long as 18 people say I need to die twice, I should die. That's where our self-worth is. That's where the fuck our self-worth is. And that is why do you want to save that? Why do we want to preserve that? Why do we want to, hey, you're steered wrong. You don't want to steer them wrong. You want the ones to go right into the bug zapper. You want those guys to go right into the flame and just poof. You want that. Because honestly, their
Keep
light
moving.
from their burning carcass it's gonna teach others, isn't it? It's gonna teach others that are watching It's going to teach others and go, maybe we shouldn't go in there. Maybe we shouldn't be Nazis. Here's a thought. Maybe we should try something else. And you're always going to, I don't know if you're always, but you're going to have a giant flux of people that are like, no, let's be not this time. Let's be Nazis. That'll work this time. We got a better logo. We're in the West Coast. We got this now. So I
I
see
think
a
once you
lot
get to
of
the
good
point that you
stuff.
realize people are going to do what they want to do in the end, whether no matter what we say about it. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's us included. It's like to whatever level it is.
Can you see how, if society was truly into removing serial killers, that they would have done just what I'm talking about with the genetic
Yeah.
erasure? Like like if if we were really seriously committed to ending this, we would do that. I was talking to Renee about this today. I It really bothers me that we don't have roads that have like natural bridges where like animals and stuff can cross, and that I can't count how many anyway. If we lived in this, like, we have a society that says you have to have an emergency phone every fucking half mile, or you have to have mile markers. You literally have to have a tiny metal green sign made for every tenth of a mile throughout the entire United States. You have realized how many fucking calories that is?
Hmm.
Yep.
So
On the
society is
loose.
showing you where we are. We're in the point of society where we want to label every quarter mile, but fuck all the animals. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
And if we didn't want to be there, we would be there. I swear to you, we would have this thing where there's just nothing but natural bridges and none of the roads have numbers because no one can afford them. And people are putting up cardboard number signs because there's like, I want to number the road, and
But
that's
that
what it
doesn't
is.
matter to
Instead of the
them anyway.
volunteers starting wildlife rescue centers, you'd have volunteers starting, let's number the roads, let's crochet the roads. And that's what the nonprofits would be. So don't let society gaslight you into thinking that they're as woke or awake as you are. See their level, set your goal. I want 1 to 4% gaslight. That's it. This is a very low bar. Pollinating someone there is a lot easier than you think. It really is a simple ridicule or a simple way to go, a simple push, a simple link, a simple, I don't know if that's right. A lot more assumptions. When I'm on Twitter all weekend, I love Biden, apparently. Never said a word about Biden. But the response to all my tweets is, you must suck Biden's cock and Biden's got his fucking Biden's a pedophile and you don't want to admit it. That's all I get. And I've never even said the word Biden ever in my tweets. Maybe once, but it's like it's not there. The old me would not have enough calories to be labeled as a Biden. The new me is this is fun. This dude thinks I love the Minnesota Vikings. And now he's insulting the Minnesota Vikings and he's thinking I'm going to go home and cry because my team like it's and it doesn't affect me at all, but I don't want to blow this. I'd be blowing it if I told him, "Hey man, I used to do that. I'd say, "Hey, you do know that I don't actually Hey, you need to understand me." And I've destroyed my Heyoka. I had a perfectly good Heyoka going. I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat, believes in open borders, right? Some of you might have seen that with Facebook. This one dude is just like, oh, you need to go live, da, da, da. You want open borders, da, da, da. And I was like, fine, dude, we'll hunt each other. We'll fucking hunt each other in the woods for food. Am I going to eat you or are you going to eat me? Why not, man? That sounds fun. Like push into it, lean into it. Become the Lucifer, become all those things, And then just have fun. Use it to fuck with people. Like in a fun way. It's Halloween. This is the time. This is the time for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think I wasn't. I was trying to pollinate in a, don't you get it? Don't you get it? And I would say things. And I was like, they don't want to hear that. That wasn't very fun, was it? It wasn't fun for me.
That's your ultimate compass. Where you guys are at, once you've learned how to sonar everyone else, and I think everyone here, I don't know who guy in the back is, no offense, but like I think you guys have all shown clear demonstrations of being able to do that, which means you're at the Heyoka level now. You should be going out there trying to look like a MAGA guy. trying to look like a Biden guy. I saw the funniest, perfect example today. These guys are like, stand behind ICE. And this dude, this dude has made a sign that says like deep throat the police or something. Like it's just like he was on their side, right? But more than they were on the side. Like he was like, no, I think we should cuck for the. I wish I could remember the sign. But it was like, cuck for the police, or take it all down your
They're
throat or
like, that's too
whatever.
far, right?
It was beautiful because the people that were mad at him was like, dude, you need to go on the other side of the street. He was like, why? I fucking love cops. I think we should totally suck their schlong right now. I think we should have a drive up schlong sucking for cops right now. I'm with you guys. And they're just, I mean, do you see how Heyoka that is? That is so Heyoka to do that. And I think it does more than you could possibly, than I could possibly even imagine. Like, I think it does more than you even think. And you don't have to be pure. You don't have to be authentic because you're wearing the Heyoka costume. And honestly, had I not heard about Heyoka, I don't think I would have been able to resolve this. I don't think I would have told you or argued that this is a moral decision. But it's
Stop trying to
absolutely
stand
the
out.
only thing that Heyoka would do is like the village is so sad or the village is so distraught or the village is so manic. I'm going to have to do this. Going to have to dress like this and put this in this hole and put this in that hole and just go in and just do something weird and just diddle in front of just something fucking weird. But ultimately, that's the clown medicine. And you would need anonymity to do that. The anonymity could be as simple as letting someone believe naturally that you're for Biden or that you're for MAGA or you're for whatever. And either side would work. I'm not saying you have to be on their side. It's a fun thing to just play with
Just
all.
letting people think what they want, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Just play with their energy. If you remember that your goal is not to change their mind, but to just gaslight them 1 to 4%, it really becomes more of like a hacky sack kind of a thing, not a I have to score this goal or win this thing. It's more about how long can I keep this up and it be fun. Because ultimately, what ends the game of hacky sack is it's not fun anymore. You don't end because I lost or I won, right? You end because it's like, all right, I'm done. I've had enough. This is the way you want to play. And hacky is very spontaneous. So
So James, you don't get you know, you're doing it kind of anonymous, like a little bit on the Twitter, but you ever go back into your old town and all those people were your friends and all those years that you
I
were
did
like
say,
those were your people, those were your friends, and then I'm like, well, I don't relate here.
yeah. And I think this is
That's what burnt.
I know, and I actually have something for you on this. I don't know if it'll help, but I just got back from my dad's house, and I don't have issues with my dad. I mean, I have some issues, but they're really minor. My dad's just a really good guy. But when I was there, as soon as I got there, I got bloated. I wasn't digesting food. I was swallowing food, but I wasn't digesting it. I was tired. I was lethargic. I uh, I didn't feel comfortable in my pants the whole time. I didn't feel. It wasn't my dad. It's the house. The house has that stuff. I know it's not a person, Lori, but it's the same thing. But here's the part I want to share. The more I level up, the more I will not be able to stand that situation. The less I level up, the more I will be able to stand that situation because I will think that I should feel uncomfortable, I should feel bloated, like that's just normal. That's just normal. I just thought that's how the body felt, honestly. I really thought this is why I've had such an eating issue at home. I don't think I was ever in a digestive state, Lori, like at home. I was never in a digestive state. So I was always putting more food in and I was always bloated because I wasn't actually digesting it. So I was always hungry. And then they were just telling me, "Well, you're fucked up because you eat too much," whatever. And it was never even a thought that anyone could even consider that it was something else, including for me. I just thought that was normal. I just thought that was how everyone felt. And today, when we left town, a lot of gastrointestinal stuff just like cleared, just like boom, just cleared instantly. And it was like I felt myself underneath it. And after driving for 3.5 hours, I was no longer tired. I got far enough away from that place where my energy returned. And had I not leveled up enough, I never would have noticed that I was uncomfortable. It, the luxury is noticing that this feels like ick. And I think ultimately the self worth rises. I think ultimately, Lori, the answer is for me, I can never be in this house again. And I keep thinking I can. I keep thinking I can hang out with these people. And I'm not talking about my dad, I'm talking about this house. And that's the mistake. The mistake is thinking you should feel normal or you should be woken enough or shamanic enough to where you can be around those people and feel good. And I'm saying to you, I think what makes the shaman is the one that realizes the opposite. All the power comes from the acknowledgement of your weakness. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
You can level up because you can finally realize you can afford to say, I can't afford to be around that person. Because when I do, this is what happens to my fucking body. My energy body turns to this. And I can bitch and say, oh, I need to change. I need to be more resilient. But what if changing and being more resilient just means ignoring it? What if everyone else that you think is resilient and able to do that is just fucking ignoring it? And if they're fucking ignoring it, it means they're just spitting out revenge every fucking chance they get. They're just spitting out, how can I make you feel the same way? Because they want to regulate. Who doesn't want to regulate? This is why the shaman would be like the only person in the room who would say, I am too weak to be in this house. That's power.
True.
Isn't that weird as fuck?
That's true though.
That
Yeah.
that's the power when you're the one person that's like, I can't go in this room. And you're the one emanating with all the power. And this goes against the very dynamic of everything that you've ever been told about what a power looks like. And since we live in an upside down world, maybe that's fucking right. Maybe this is a clue that this truly is what power looks like. It's understanding how important your body is, how important your field feels, and how you know there is no fucking way you're going to be able to uncorrupt this stuff. I think I can have a relationship with my dad if he gets out of the fucking house. Like it's not that I can't have one with him now, but I think that if he gets out of that house, it'll be a lot better. Be like a million times better. I know that
Yeah.
with I've got a sibling, and I know the right answer is I don't need to see him ever again. It's not like a spite. It's just look, my energy body is not. No, no. I am too powerful to see you. What did I just say? I am too powerful to see you. What the fuck is that? What kind of language is that? Right? But it's profound, and it's probably right. It probably is correct. And the shaman would be the one that would know how sanctity works, how important that field is, how crucial that sacred milk is, that, that Don Juan vibration. And that's the most important thing, which means you would never, ever, ever be in this person's field or that person's field or this kind of field unless you were in Heyoka. And I cannot Heyoka in front of my dad. He knows me, he recognizes me. I can't do that. I can't do it with my brother. So I can't really be there. That's my most vulnerable. That's my kryptonite.
Yeah, that's good. That's good medicine to admit. Um, do you have any grief with that? Like,
Of course.
you know, yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it's grief as much as I feel like I've abandoned myself all the time until now. And so the grief is more about that. Right now, that's where it is. The grief is more about why did I What my dad said something really small yesterday. He was like, "Yeah, when I was young, it was." He's like, "Thank God I got a car," and blah blah blah. That was just it was like such a small thing, but it was just like all these vibrations are telling me um, exactly what I need to know, and the only thing that's stopping me is admitting how weak I am in this place. That's what's stopping me. The entire time, what's stopping me is this insistence that I'm strong here, and that was the controlled opposition. My controlled opposition was telling me I'm strong here and I can stay here. That was the demon. That was the evil. Isn't that
That's the
weird?
one we had the hardest time with too, right?
Yeah.
Like after all the
It
years, you
was the
sit there and
one
think
that,
you're
that
good at
was as
something.
close to me that said, I'm going to take care of you. Don't let these people get you down. We're strong. We can handle this. And I'm just like, yeah, you're right. I don't care that I feel this way. Oh, it doesn't matter. I'm tired. It doesn't matter. I'm lethargic. It doesn't matter that I'm straining to have a good time, that I'm straining to feel engaged here. Doesn't matter that I'm waking up at 2 in the morning, mad as fuck and not knowing why. It does this. Oh, this happens to everybody. It's no big deal. That's the demon. It's a big one, man.
Well, I think that's when you go back and these were my people. And then I'm looking at myself, how I was like an imposter to myself for the 20 years that I've lived here.
Yeah.
And I wasn't really, I was playing that game, you know. I love Yesenia's fraud former suits. I had a lot of fraud. I have a lot of fraud former suits. It's not that masking or costuming isn't like fun, but to do it for like that approval type of thing, that you're staying and like, this should feel good. I'm with my, people. I'm with my dad. I'm with my family, whatever. It's like, no, I don't feel good.
Mhm.
That's where
So
I think the guilt comes in too, right? When it's like you spend those years in that relationship and you feel like you not only should feel good there, but that relationship should feel the way that you think it should. And the guilt of feeling like that to kind of step away from that, like even the guilt of you're supposed to exist in this mold.
Mhm.
And it's like that it to not be to recognize that it was us that agreed to that. You know what I'm saying? That we agreed to play that game and we weren't satisfied with them, right? Because they weren't recognizing us where we were, but it was again because we weren't at the time bold enough to admit that we were too weak to do that and we
Yeah.
needed to allow ourselves to admit that that was just not for
Yeah.
us.
If
Yeah, for me, it's like about a year and a half ago, I was like a character in Cheers. Like there was like a watering hole in town,
Mhm.
and I had the crew, and like everybody recognized me the moment I entered. It was like I was the star of the show every day, 365. And then I woke up one day and I was like, "Fuck you guys," and then I just like I don't want anything to do with you.
Mhm.
And now I'm hallucinating everywhere I go. They don't like me. So it's like, what did I do? I just changed the script on myself for some reason. For some reason, I need this medicine, and it doesn't feel good. Just like NyQuil, it tastes like shit. But I'm just taking it one gulp at a time. I can
so
feel the
yeah, you're describing it perfectly, and I think where we might be losing calories is thinking that giving ourselves too much credit that we knew who we were this whole time and that people were just rejecting us because ultimately what's happening is you don't know yourself, and the more you get to formulate yourself, the more you get calories to spend them on how uncomfortable you are around certain people. You're spending those calories on how uncomfortable you are because you're oozing into the world for the first time. You're allowing your pranic ooze to occupy the space instead of being held up inside. But it's not held up inside because you used to be this complex, huge, fully formed flower and you shrank. Stop saying that to yourself. You were a nugget. You were a nut, and you cracked open for the first time. Not you were fully. Then no. You cracked. This is what it feels like, and if you can afford that, what is it? You're creating a wound. When a seed rips open, it forms an eye, and the eye bleeds. It bleeds a stalk. A little piece of green comes out of its eye. And that piece of green unfolds and uncurls, and it starts to say, I would love some sunlight. And first it tries to go down, then it's like, I don't know, then it goes up, and it's bleeding the whole time. The seed is bleeding. It bleeds a tree if you let it live long enough. Just like your eyes bleed the world if you let them see long enough. So yourself is coming out of your ability to spend money on things that don't feel comfortable, which means every time that you grow, it would be necessary for you to feel the desire to say, fuck you guys. I'm out. This will be the only way you would know. And I want you to know that this doesn't always have to burn. I think it's only burning because you don't recognize how good that is. How good that feeling of discovery. Oh my God, I'm bloated. Wait, let me walk a little. Oh my God, I'm more bloated. Then you walk away. Oh my God, I'm less bloated. Holy shit, check this out. Hey, come here, mom. Oh my God, I'm more bloated. This is great. Wait, step back. Oh my God, I feel great. This is amazing. And that it would take you being willing to feel bad to even go into that and to dial, let's turn up the 4K to 8K. You know, someone asked me today, it was like, what is it? Why is there more evil? It's like, there's not more evil. It's 4K evil. Now there's 8K evil. It's technically the same evil. You just upgraded your video card and you can see more of it now. This will be a sign of growth. So the sign of growth would always equal more discomfort. It would always equal more discomfort. Can you be comfortable with the discomfort? I think you can. Because I think you can be comfortable with shame. I think you can love yourself and still have shame. You could be like, oh, my butt crack is showing. I'm ashamed. That's great. That's a perfect way to practice. You got shame and you're still alive. So this is a sign of I can love myself and still have shame. And all you have to do is say, I feel bloated in this way. Sorry to keep using this example, but this has just been me. It's been my digestive tract has been educating me my whole life, and I've insisted that wasn't what was happening. But it is. If you can embrace this, you start to see the red pheasant of it, and you start to realize just how much you're leveling up.
No,
Yeah,
maybe I have been feeling bloated, like very bloated in my environment. And now that you mention it, it's more like a heartbeat. Like I'm watching the camaraderie in front of me that I don't get to be a part of.
Mm-hmm.
But I already made that choice a long time ago that I don't want to be a part of that anymore.
Yeah, and that camaraderie, I think, is what keeps us from growing the most. It's so fun around those wonderful chicks. They're warm, they're yellow, they're fuzzy, they're cute. There's an incubator light called society. It's telling them they're right the whole time. It's telling them at least you're not a duck, and it's telling the ducks at least you're not a chick. And those guys
and
are
then
growing that
then you
way.
get to
Yeah.
you get to gossip. You
Mhm.
get to you get to play the one up and the one downs, and
Scapegoat.
you get
Yeah,
to,
you can scapegoat and golden child people
yeah,
and
yeah,
create a
yeah.
savior and then crucify him. And then I'll be like, oh no, someone crucified him. Why I didn't know that was happening. And then, and then run around, oh my God, we should fix it. And no one's going to fix it. And yeah, who would want to leave that? I'll tell you, the fucking shamans would. The shamans would. They're the only ones that would want to leave that. They're the only ones that would be like, there's a lot of poopy in here. Can I? Can I get? Can I leave? There's a lot of poop here. Seriously, there's like so much
That's
poop.
kind of what causes the bloating, right? You get
Yeah.
closer to the poop and you just get more bloated.
Well,
What's interesting?
you'd have to leave to know that you were sick, right? Like when you're cooking fish in the kitchen, you don't
really realize it's stinky until you leave.
Mm.
That's why
You get
it's that
acclimated.
distance.
Yeah.
When you're healthy enough to stand alone and realize that these people aren't going to see what we see,
Mhm.
and it's not our problem to leak out that leak
Right.
is what you felt. You're leaking to all these people because they were not born onto the level. You
Sure.
know, they're going to need you to let them be sick
Yep.
before they can heal themselves.
Hmm. And
Yeah.
if you got enough courage as a chick, you might try to run outside once just so you could not smell, just so you could smell something different. And then you would instantly run right back inside because this is giving you the gauge you need to understand, am I a shaman chicken or not? You know.
Right. You got to be able to tell the other chicks what it is that you
Yeah.
saw.
And it
They
would
don't have to.
probably take centuries of practicing this. And it could be that for several lifetimes you're trying to actually shrink back. You're trying to go back into it. And you just need lifetimes of being disappointed every time you try and go back to them. Isn't this why we have these relationships? There's always, oh, you keep going back to them. It's like because they don't know if they really want to level up. That's why they keep going back to them. They keep going back because they're like, I think I want to level up, but I'm not sure. Because honestly, it looks pretty alone. And right now, if I just say those ducks are pedophiles, everyone cheers and I just feel better. I just feel warm because we're not the pedophiles. But over here, that guy over there, he's all alone. He's all raggedy and shit. He's always sad and stuff. You know, it's it's just the truth. But he digests food. He knows everything that's happening around him. And every now and then he sees another wild, ugly duckling like the rest of us. He sees another shaman duck, and they hang out and stuff. We're a
Calling in another
lifeline.
shaman duck.
We're a
It,
lifeline,
it
by the
reminds
way.
me of your allegory of the playground, right? And so we're just tired of the game that's being played on the playground. So every once in a while, we got to go back to the stairs and play with our spit and watch the shadows pass by, James.
Keep it simple, you know.
Yep. At least invent a new game because if you're anti-war, it's still talking about war, right? So
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. That's what's
whoever's
still it's
paying, yeah, what color you're voting for doesn't change where the money's going. And so we definitely need a better way to do this. Like
Mhm.
James is saying, just number the streets and then you'd know where the cars were broken down at. And then you would need mile markers. And why is it a thing to make a land bridge? It makes no sense. Like, we're definitely the corruption on this beautiful thing, the Gaia. Well, I love you all. I have no bandwidth to even talk most of the time, so I'm just glad I could babble a little.
yeah, I did. I yeah, I think
It's
that's the thing. The more we play and the more we're playing, I think the more those natural systems work. Do you know what
Yeah,
I
if
mean?
we
It's
if we
the
could
more
tap into our enteric system, um, I think that you would notice that your mouth gets dry and you actually feel bloated like instantly. I think if we could really tap into that, and that we're just listening to our esophageal creature digest the world, the breath that we taste coming inside it's going to have the pheromones of everyone in the room, so they're going to taste them. And that the bloating is really just proof that your ventral system is shut down. And if your ventral system is shut down, but you're used to being it open, you're going to feel tired. You're going to feel weaker. You're going to feel bloated. You're not going to be able to digest food. You don't feel safe. If you don't feel safe, you're burning more calories than normal. If you're waiting for someone to say something or horrible or whatever, you're on guard. All these all these are just such valuable data because most of the time you don't know that you're in the room with someone like that, but meanwhile your body does. So it's a
way.
great opportunity right now, I think, to really get in touch with your body, like to
But
really
James,
zoom in. Go ahead.
for for you, when you go to like to the public or anyone in this room, do y'all feel like that like bar scene in a movie, like when everybody quiets down and they just look at you? Like, do you feel that intensity? Like that, though you feel everyone's witness
Mhm.
on you when you're in the room.
I think that I think I've definitely had feelings like that, but I think that feeling is very specific to you right now, Yesenia, and that you're seeing some radar that's coming online and it looks like that. And I'm just speculating. I think you would know, but I think ultimately you're realizing just you're feeling the actual prana, the wind of someone else's witness for the first time. Not the first time, but you're just feeling it so stronger, so much stronger.
in that way.
And you're
Yeah,
focusing in on that because you want to perfect that art of listening to that. So it would make sense that it would be amplified, even maybe too much. And too much would be, I don't want this much awareness. I'm not ready for this much awareness because I'm going to
that's how it was.
lose my relationships or my friends or my job or my community. And you know that because when you start to stay in that deeper awareness, you start to realize how that path is going to feel lonely because, and I'm glad we came back to this because I think this might help Lori. I think you can visualize the pea gravel around you, all the people, your community, and realize that the reason why it's harder to level up is because you're wrapped your identity around those stones and you can't imagine pulling them out. And so you purposely get sad because it's just showing you where your roots are. It's showing you.
Yeah, that's
And
right.
so you would have to have a death ceremony with those people in order to unhook the prana, in order to unhook those roots. And you would have to have that ceremony. And maybe you're just terrified of that. And this would be the only way that you could taste that is you would feel you couldn't let go, or you would feel that why can't I get these, or why can't I feel more comfortable? And the answer is because because you still don't mind feeling uncomfortable. That's why it feels uncomfortable because you still don't mind feeling uncomfortable. You'd rather feel uncomfortable.
And tethered to the rocks.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
know, it's like this it's this horrible grief, but I think it is about like watching my ex-husband like flower in these with these rocks. He's flowering. He's so happy. He's everywhere on social media and I'm like I can't I was just like poor pitiful you. You I have to do a death ritual. Yeah, I need to untether so I can be freed
Mhm.
to plant my plant somewhere else.
Yeah.
I don't
I don't
know.
I don't think
I
I
don't
could
know.
have done
That's the
that.
thing, not to resent people who do flourish there, because some people do flourish in that, don't they, Laura?
Yeah.
You
For
know what I'm
sure,
saying?
you should see
To
how
their own.
beautiful the people are
Yeah.
flourishing. I'm jealous that I'm not
Yeah.
flourishing.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah.
you having
And
that,
the
Yesenia? Are you
jealousy,
jealous that you're not like part of the camaraderie of the hyena or the
It's
whatever it is? I don't even want to give it a judgment. It's not a bad thing that they're
I get
enjoying
it.
all of this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's more so like I feel my own disgust, but in real time. Like if we go back to this retrocausal thing, because I remember being the prima donna when I was playing my little Cheers game, and I'll be like, ill, not her. And now I feel the ill, not her against me.
Hmm.
And I guess it's my turn, and maybe it's my own karma, I guess. But at the same time, I was
Promotion.
done.
Yeah. It's a promotion.
It's just not, that's not your environment anymore.
Yeah.
You
It's a
know, you and
promotion.
you can't stand at the door like Morpheus with the pills and asking people who's coming with me. You know, it's a lonely thing to be the shaman.
Yeah.
You're not always going to be understood. You're crazy till you're not.
Yeah. If
And
Hitler wasn't, there'd be a
I
lot
already
of
have
shamans.
this I already have this awareness wherever I go. I could feel the room. I could feel the mom with the kid in the
Right.
grocery aisle. And now I don't know how to unfeel it. I don't think I want to unfeel it, but I want to feel better.
Yeah.
I
And
want
I
to
I
get
think
to
don't
the
think you
better
can
I
part.
think that
unfeel it.
you'd be surprised at how much you can fall in love with strangers. I do this all the time. It really is a. I see Renee do this all the time. She engages what you would think is a very trivial interaction, and there's like a big berry there. Like she ends up coming out with a really thick berry that's got a lot of flavor in it, and it's just
I think it's when you don't take it personally.
so I think that that comes more to entitlement. I think that you have to feel entitled to feel better. I really think that's it. That if you feel how necessary it is that you don't feel bloated, for example, that would be the only thing that would make you go, well, maybe I shouldn't stand over here. And honestly, Renee has to do a lot of work. She's just like, hey, I've got to go stand out here in the sun because the sunlight's right here. And she'll stop and go like that's taxing. Technically, that's taxing because she's got to get up like at 4 in the fucking morning, go look at the fucking stars in the sky. And she's got to put on her coat and her hat and shit like that. And why? Because she's entitled to have a deep experience. You see what I mean? Like she's entitled to that, which means she has to service that, which means she's not free. She's not cool. She's not cheersing. She's not like super successful. She really has a high maintenance fucking life where she has to, well, I'm going to walking, but I'm not going to wear shoes. You guys are going to have to slow the fuck down because we're going to stop and look at every Halloween decoration. This is a really fascinating spider on this mailbox. It's stuff like that. And this is the entitlement level. I know how my dad works. So watching those two on a walk, I was like, I'm basically just tracking children here, just like wild children, because it's one of them is like, well, we can't stop, we have to finish the walk, and the other one's just like, what is a walk? What you mean, like waka waka or like the Chinese walk? What does it mean? So it's like the entitlement. People do not have patience for your entitlement. Of course they don't, which is why you don't get to hang out with a lot of people if you're going to be this way. The times that you hang out with people, it's a much different experience. You're used to using people as a battery to feel good, to power up. You walk into Cheers because you're going to get powered up, which means you're going to think of the right shit to say. You're going to listen to what Norm said because in 3 weeks, you're going to remind him of what he said and he's going to feel all good. Now he's going to give you more prana because you remembered him. And he's like, I feel seen, man. And you make me feel seen. He doesn't know who the fuck you are. All he knows is that you're someone that makes him feel seen. And he wants to be seen. And you know what? That's a legit, valid fucking feeling to have. And if that's all he's focusing on is I want to be seen, and if there's a million see me's out there, those are just what forget me nots, and those are dandelions, and that's what they do. Dandelion looks like this and does like this. And when you blow it, it goes like this. And when it does this. And that's exactly what it does. And there's 3 trillion of them. And here's a trillium over here. What the fuck is that? And you don't see a lot of those. So you you may not want to be a trillium. It's like you're taking a big chance here. You're gonna feel bloated now. You're gonna have to like get up at 4 in the fucking morning sometimes. You're gonna you're gonna be constantly analyzing people and thinking about nature and the world and trying to compassionate people and you don't just get to go, well, you're a fucking narcissist. You're just like, I fucking A. I just said them. You're gonna do that. You're gonna be like, damn it, I just said them. Fuck. Fuck you, James. Because you know I'm right. I'm not saying I'm right, but you know what I mean. Like you know that this ladder's right. You know it because you've seen the giraffe, you've seen the altitude. It's fucking great. It is, but it's taxing as fuck. It's cold as fuck. You got to bring your own food. You got all that. The analogy writes itself. But it does get better. I think that if anything's going to stop your growth, it's going to be like the first time you lift weights and you think, God, is it always going to hurt this much? And the answer is no, it's actually going to hurt different. It's just going to hurt different. And when I say hurt different, I mean, it's actually going to feel good. Running is like the closest equivalent to that. The first time I ran a mile, I was just like, I can't do this. This is so painful. This is completely painful. This is completely painful. And I really had to have faith that it wasn't always going to feel that way. And it's weird because I ended up running 3 miles, then 6 miles, then 10 miles, then 13, and then 26. And it was all a hermetic ladder. And I got to tell you, the thing that hurt the most, okay, the 26 hurt like fuck, but overall, if you take that one out and throw it away, because I shouldn't have ran that. I wasn't ready. But the one that hurt the most was the half mile to a mile. If I really think back, what was the most painful part? It was that. It was that very beginning. first gear, right? When you're in
Mhm.
first gear, you can feel the engine just being like, fuck.
It's the most
That's the
burn for the
gear,
least
isn't it?
progress.
That's the gear,
Yep.
isn't it? The gear literally is fuck. Like that's what the gear sounds like.
That most
I
apt description I've ever heard.
I really relate to
Front wheel
that.
drive.
Uh, I think that that solo journey of coming out of Cheers, and not playing the bar character.
Mm.
So how do you do that and have fun in the hurts? It hurts to be in that not being seen and not part of that, that scene, the music scene, the dance scene, the bar scene, whatever the scene is. You're not in the scene anymore.
Mhm.
You have to create this another scene,
Yeah,
you
you
know?
become your audience. If you think about it, you become your own audience.
You
And so
almost
you have
have
to
to.
respect yourself because then your audience will be a higher caliber than what it was before. So you really have to love yourself. And then you become your own audience. And actually your audience is a lot better than other people's audiences. Guys, when I'm writing a book and I haven't shown it to anybody, my God, I am such a good writer. Holy fuck, this is so good. Like I really have that fullness to it. I find so much joy in that. I mean, sometimes I fucking hate it. Don't get me wrong, but but if I fix something and somebody just really, I'm just like, oh, fuck, this is so good. And I actually dread showing it to anyone. This is not about my work. I hope you see what I mean. This is literally pointing exactly what I'm talking about. That the fact that I have a better sense of my own art than other people do is you and me, all of us are practicing that idea of my hearth can burn
Yeah.
warmer when I'm alone. In fact, when I start showing the heart to other people, people start pissing in the fire. So why would I not favor? I literally favor the moment right before I show you fucks my latest book or my latest article because one of you is going to be like, "What do you mean, ISIS, George Soros? You don't know what?" And I'm just like, "You didn't see how brilliant that was? No, you don't." And I'm just like, "Why didn't I enjoy it when I had it?" Do you see what I mean? Why didn't I enjoy it? Same thing for Christmas Eve. My mom would buy us underwear every Christmas Eve. She'd be like, "You get to open a present early," and I'd be like, "Really? Really?" She's like, "Yeah, you get to open it." It was always underwear. It was always underwear. And every Christmas, I'd just be like, "Oh, this is." Oh, oh.
You didn't even get any Christmas pajamas?
No, no, they were Christmas pajamas. Yeah, but I'm
Okay.
just saying. What I mean is that as a boy, you're not just like, "Hey, I hope I get some under." I mean, you're even underoos really weren't that exciting to me. I'm like toy guy. I'm not. Sorry, it's a bad example. Except for that, I still
Kids don't
kept
want clothes.
expecting and still kept thinking that that was going to be something different. I don't even know how this relates anymore because I went into underoos territory. Yeah, I got some great underwear. I did, but I definitely remember every year being like, man, this
Just
is
fooled by thinking you were going to get something different than you got before,
yeah,
right?
because there was great stuff for Christmas. And
And it's also about loving it before you
that's
give
what
it
I was
away.
going to say.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how much more joy I've noticed that I get before before you eat the cheesecake. I'm lactose intolerant. The second I eat cheesecake, I'm fucked. But right before I eat that, I don't know if I am, but I've noticed I can't do cheesecake anymore. I used to be able to do cheesecake but you can buy the cheesecake. You can I hope you guys really take this seriously. You can go to the grocery store and take a cheesecake and put it in your basket. And if you're present, you are tasting that cheesecake. You possess the cheesecake, you have the cake, and you're eating it too because you're present. You're present. And you know this, and you're walking around. You should go a few extra aisles. You should go to the dessert aisle first and like put that in there. And then, and actually think this is probably why I do this at IKEA. I would go to IKEA with my family because they love to go to IKEA, and I put all these things in my basket, and I get to the checkout, and I would just like leave the basket because I'm looking at the stuff, and I'm just like I don't want any of this stuff, and it was fun. It was fun going, oh, I'm gonna get this. Look at this. It's a green carpet. Oh, this is gonna look great, and then I'm enjoying the fuck out of it, aren't I? I'm stealing it. I'm stealing it because I have presence. I'm stealing it because I have witness. And that's what you're sensing is Cindy. You're sensing the witness because you have witness. It would make sense that you would sense it from everyone else. Same thing where if you're sensing paranoia, the same all the emotions that you're sensing. Jealousy. Oh, I'm jealous of I must be jealous of someone. No, bitch. Someone's fucking jealous of you. And you're just like, how do I project this into the world? Because no one can be jealous of me because that would be impossible. I must be jealous of them because I'm a piece of shit. And that's you're processing the exact feeling just poorly. That's all. You're just processing but you're reading it. Technically, you're doing great because you can afford to feel like shit about yourself, which means you're able to listen. You're not tuning it out. And if you turn up this, where is it? Good luck out there. Good luck out there is a statement. Good luck out there. And at 10 hertz, good luck out there is stoic. Good luck out there. At 10 hertz, it's a stoic statement. At 30 hertz, good luck out there. It's more optimistic. Hey, good luck out there. Hey, good luck out there. Good luck out there. 10 hertz. Good luck out there is 30 hertz. Good luck out there. Good luck out there. There is the world is full of all this fucking luck. And if you just close your eyes like a fucking squirrel who can only find one out of every 10 nuts, if you just close your eyes and just fucking run, you're going to run into a luck. You're going to run into it because all of us have been storing luck. We've been given luck the whole time. That's 60 hertz. It's the same four words. It's the same four words. They're all the same. The fact that you would see a sign that says good luck out there and you don't know who put it there. And you're like, someone put a sign out here that says good luck out there. That's like a giant level up. You're like, a stranger I've never met is leaving me a sign that's giving me luck for free and I don't have to do shit. That's 80 hertz. But good luck out there is good luck out there. The whole thing's a fucking cheat. The whole thing's a scam. So good luck out there. It's the same signal. So I'm jealous of someone because I'm a piece of shit, or I'm bloated because I'm fat.
My
That would
God,
be
I feel
me. I would
that.
say I'm bloated because I'm fat. And actually, what was happening was your ventral system has shut down because you are in the fucking predator's den, motherfucker.
I
Same
am.
feeling.
I heard Alan Watts' last interview, and it was about his autobiography, and it was in my way. So you could take that as the same as what James just did.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
in my way.
Yeah.
I'm totally in my way,
Oh, I love it. Yeah,
or
yeah.
I'm in my way.
That's even better,
I'm
Lori.
doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
right.
I'm contradicting myself because 2 months ago I was like, yeah, friends are overrated, and now I'm like, they don't want to be my friend, and it's like I already made a decision.
Yeah, and that's what
I
the
have
ladder
to
would
stick
look
with
like.
it.
The ladder would
You
look
asked
like
for
that.
this, right?
Yeah, it would look like that. That's what a ladder would look like. First, you're down here, and then as you're going up the mountain, it's going to look like this. Then it's going to look like this, and everything's going to get smaller, and you're going to feel higher up. Technically, first time you're on a mountain, you're probably terrified of heights. Oh my God, I'm way the fuck up here. So, you know. But after a while, you just live up here. You know, you just live up here. It's all about. I think the entitlement is so important, and I think it really does start with the moment, like the most mundane, trivial moment. You could always be asking, always stalking yourself. How can I feel deeper?
Plug into this. Yeah.
You can go into the DMV, the best opportunity. I'm not saying this happens at the DMV, but maybe it does. You can go in the DMV and feel that you're stuck in a bureaucratic hellhole and you feel like human cattle because you're working your way through a zigzag line that's completely fucking pointless. Or you are
You could
playing
bring
the role of cattle, or you're touching humans that you would never touch before, or you're now doing subtle energy work where you're telepathically healing people that are in line with you. This is something True would do when he would drive people around in the car. He's finding deep saturation in the moment because for no other reason than because you deserve it. And if you
How about
deserve
a
it, if
kid,
you
right?
needed it to live, if you deserved it, you would spend more calories on it the same way you would get up early in the morning because you need to see Venus. That's the only time you get to see it. So why would you not get up early in the morning to do that? You deserve it. So I think it's why I would run when I used to run. I would deserve how high it would fucking make me feel. My God, a runner's high. I do not know of a better drug. Fuck, that's a good high. And it's ultimately wasn't sustainable. Your knees are fucked, man. You can't keep doing that. I learned how to taste the high. I learned to deserve the high. And I sort of decided I've learned it so much that I was ready to sacrifice my heart on the Aztec pyramid of marriage. That all that running I did built up to that moment where I finally had enough balls to say, "Hey, could someone cut my heart out?" I learned to afford that luxury. I paid for that. I made it. And that's what divorce is. You deserve that. You, you were worth it enough. You didn't just go into marriage and stop. You flowered. You popped open like popcorn. So all these would be a rupture that feels bad. And it only feels bad, I think, because you don't know what's happening. I think that this would feel instantly better the next day if you have a different posture. And I feel better the further I drove away. And I was just like a couple times to get out of the car and I could just like pass just giant amounts of gas without Renee noticing. And just, it was just a complete release. And it's only brought to me by the magic of distance, by like, I'm
You
now
can
safe
unclench.
now. I need to get out of this and I can unclench because I really
mm,
deserve to. And you can't beat yourself up for being bloated. You have to realize why you're clinching. I don't have the ability to do that. If I was smart in Atlanta, I could have said, "Well, you're clinched because there's a lot of shit happening here, man. Why would you not be clinched? You better be clinched, motherfucker. I love you. You better clinch, motherfucker. You're not gonna go swim in there, you know." But see, I didn't have the calories for that. I didn't have the calories for that. All I just felt was just, ugh, ugh. And I just grew up that way. I just grew up that way.
wow.
It's like anything. Say when you get used to the smell, right? You
If
don't
I want to
notice it
feel
anymore.
good, I don't get to see
Yeah.
my brother anymore. I'm just being honest. If I want to feel good, I don't get to see my brother anymore for the rest of my life. I don't really get to see him. I'm going to run
Well,
into
that's
him
how
every
it,
now and then, and I'm going to seize up, and I'm going to feel that, I'm going to say I don't deserve this, and there's nothing I can do. Do you know why there's
wow.
nothing I can do? Because that's how worth it is. That I don't want to feel that way anymore. It's worth so much to me that I get to say there's nothing I can do to fix this. It
Yeah.
really
That
is
I
the
don't think that's
most
easy to say.
highest
What do
power
you
position, isn't it? The most highest power position is seizing weakness. Isn't that fucking crazy, Gray?
It's pretty powerful when you think about it. We have about a minute left, I think. Is that right?
Mhm.
1 minute, yeah. But really good topics because I really think that that's like a superpower to be able to see your body and what it's telling you. And I have to go back and kind of source that all the places that I wasn't, I was clenching or I was,
Yeah.
you know, I'm going to go field it because I think that's why I'm not being invited to my daughter's house because it's really not it's not a comfortable environment at all for me, and it hasn't been.
And another level of that, I realize we should go, but another level of that is that someone else If you feel that way in the room, you now get to compassionate how others would feel when they're around you when you're feeling that way. They
Yes.
may not be able to understand that they're contributing to that the same way you would not be able to understand that you're contributing to that. So not only do you get to see yourself, but then you get to see what does my vibration feel like to everyone else. And I think this is where you can really do the most work because you start to feel ashamed of it. You start to feel ashamed of the negativity that I was outputting and how why am I not loose enough or why am I not this enough? And then today I was like we should go. We should drive back now. And I'm torn because I love hanging out with my dad and I did enjoy some time, but also that house, I cannot believe how potent that fucking house is. And it's good news because the neighbor might maybe my dad will sell his house soon. And I'm just really looking forward to that. Because I don't think it's him. I really don't. I feel really good around him. I just think it's just all the demonology. Hey, there's the mouse. All the demonology in the house. So that's what it is.
Well, it was a great dojo, and thanks for postponing and driving safely back in. And it's good to see everybody.
Oh, great to see everybody.
Yeah.
I'm glad it works out.
I know.
Bye, everybody.
It's good. Good night, everybody.
Good night. Talk to you soon. Okay,
Yep.
bye.
Mwah.